U.S. Bank is proud to join Deluxe as a partner in Season 5 of the Small Business Revolution, bringing their passion for small business to Fredonia, New York. For more financial tips and resources, go to usbank.com/SBR.
Deluxe does the Small Business Revolution because we really want to prove how important small businesses are to our communities. And we love showing these kinds of entrepreneurs and how hard they're working. So at the very end here, we have Julie, who runs Literacy Volunteers, which is right here on this town square. She is doing an incredible job giving her heart and her time. So we can't wait to work with her on continuing to raise the profile of this unbelievable nonprofit. So congratulations, Julie, and Literacy Volunteers. I cannot wait to introduce you to Julie. They're teaching students and adults how to read. They're teaching English. That's a really important part of the community.
That's awesome.
Julie, congratulations.
Oh, good to see you. This is Ty.
Hi,
welcome.
Hi, awesome to meet you.
Oh, so nice to have you here. I thought the best way for you to learn about Literacy Volunteers was to meet one of our tutors and students. All right, let's do it. Okay.
What made you decide to become a tutor?
Well, I'm a retired teacher. I have these skills. I should still be using them. So I called and they set me up with Abby.
I have a learning disability, so I was in special classes all through my life. When I got to high school, I just dropped out and don't have my high school diploma. So now that I have my kids, it's a role model type of thing for my kids.
Oh, you're such a good mom. I mean, that's incredible. I love that you're thinking about it as a role model. Like, that's really great.
Abby's progressed so far, and this summer she's going to take her math exam, and she's going to have her high school equivalency this summer. I'm sure she is.
That's why I became a tutor. Tutors touch the future.
She's awesome. I love you. You're awesome.
And you're so much smarter than you think you are.
Yeah. You guys are kind of adorable, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Small towns across the country are fighting for their survival with the odds stacked against them. But what happens if we join that fight? If we dedicate a little money, a lot of experience, and thousands of hours of work into one town, focusing on the businesses at the heart of their Main Street? The revolution became a national movement with over 30,000 towns nominated for a $500,000 makeover and more than 1 million votes cast for the Season 5 winner.
Hello, Fredonia!
But what started as a revitalization for Fredonia, New York, became a desperate struggle for small businesses across the country. Amanda Brinkman and her team of marketing experts at Deluxe are rolling up their sleeves, doing what they do for millions of small businesses every day. And they're not alone. Renovation icon Ty Pennington will be working with the team to rehabilitate the town's buildings, while a whole cast of experts and partners help Fredonia's entrepreneurs face down a global economic crisis. Every episode, we'll be working with a new small business to see if we can change the odds. If in a moment unlike anything this team has ever seen, we can keep the revolution alive.
When you're an adult and you don't know how to read, don't know how to write, it can be very isolating and very embarrassing. That's ordering food in a restaurant, getting your medication, being able to read the labels. That's being able to go out and get a job, being able to read bedtime stories to your children. So it could just affect people's lives ways we don't even think about. And they're thinking, I must not be very smart. Having strong literacy skills is the key to fully participate in life. So our mission is to transform the lives of individuals and the community through the doorway of literacy.
A blue dog on a red tree. One little dog
43% of adults with the lowest literacy levels live in poverty. And the poverty level in Fredonia is 20%. This is a community that needs our help. Truly, the people need us. They need our services. We have our education center, and that's where we work with students, teaching them reading, writing, how to do basic math, or to speak English. Fredonia is surrounded with grape vineyards, and with the vineyards brings a lot of migrant workers into the area.
You put that together with our higher rate of poverty, and you do have a sector that has a great need for this service here.
They want the opportunity that's here, and they're hard workers. Those students want to learn and learn quickly.
Helping individuals become a part of our workplaces as well as our community is important.
It has had a positive impact in our community. That's why it's lasted so long. Everyone is being brought up from it.
And 18 divided by 2 is 9. Good.
It's all one-on-one tutoring. Their materials will be prepared for exactly what that student needs. And when we find out that we need to adapt things a little bit, that's exactly what we do. And we find that we're very successful that way. Our students are very successful. We have our bookstore as well. The bookstore revenue is very important. Every book in here is donated, and everyone who works in here is a volunteer. So that means 100% of our revenue goes directly into our education center.
I used to run the Dunkirk Library. There was a gentleman had come through the Literacy Volunteers program. To see him choose to have the library send him a book every 2 weeks and that he's going to try to read was so exciting.
I love what I do because it's not only that you're helping the individual, but then you've helped their family, you've helped their community. But it's difficult to always find enough tutors to be able to help as many people as we would like. We're like most nonprofits, we run on a shoestring budget. And so the last 5 years, we've run about a $10,000 deficit every year. And so finding operating money can be difficult. I would say I'm not the best fundraiser, and marketing is not my expertise. Right now, we just have 2 part-time employees, including myself. I'm paid for 30 hours a week, but honestly, the work's never done. There's always something to do. I either have students coming in for their testing, or if I'm fortunate, I have an interview with someone who'd like to be a tutor. And I also worked in the bookstore. We're only open 4 days a week, and so we need volunteers to keep the bookstore open more days. That's one of our goals right now, is to be able to be open 5-6 days a week. We were able to have more fundraising and volunteers. We would be able to then grow our program. This is such a fulfilling job. It's fulfilling for the tutors, it's fulfilling for me. There's a gentleman that came in, and he tells me a story about how he has his daughter at home. And he wants to be able to read her bedtime stories. How brave to walk through this door and say that I can't read, I need your help. It's thrilling just to know that he could go home and read that story to her. I think that's what excites me the most, is who's gonna walk in my door? How can I help that person?
It didn't take long for us to fall in love with Julie's mission, but we needed more donors, volunteers, and book buyers to fall in love as well. We had to help Julie tell her story and guide her on how to organize a nonprofit that could execute its growing mission while raising the money to fund it. That's where Mikisha Nation came in. As Executive Director of Teach for America Twin Cities, Mikisha has not only grown the program to serve more low-income students, she's also dramatically increased the number of teachers who come from low-income communities. Her commitment to closing the educational opportunity gap makes her the perfect fit for literacy volunteers. So I think it's a huge opportunity because we got a bookstore, the volunteer center.
And it's right in the heart of town, so that's a great opportunity for them.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Mikisha.
Hello, it's such a nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Let's see. So I guess we'll start here. This is my office, and I love being right in front of the windows. Some people just stop in and say, hey, what do you do here? We get tutors and students that way. So anyway, currently we use this as a little conference meeting room, group learning, and tutor materials. I can't get quite enough people around the table. Our rooms really need help, and they don't have walls all the way to the ceiling. The noise travels, especially if you have 2 groups in trying to tutor and my phone rings. And welcome to our bookstore. This area right here is our fiction books. And over on the left side here is nonfiction. And over here is our young adult area and the children's area in front.
I love this. I have 3 little boys, and they would love this section of the bookstore.
All right, we have a lot to talk about. Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay, so give us a sense for where things are at with the organization right now.
We actually just moved to this location in August. We moved over here for greater visibility. So we do have new board members now, and we have some with experience on boards, and we have some that haven't been on a board before. And we want to be sure that we're structuring ourselves and starting out on the right foot. And that's where I think you can really help, is giving us some advice there.
I mean, I think that's really key because you're in a new location now. It gives you a chance to position literacy volunteers in this community and to think about who's in the community from a business perspective or civic leaders that could be really passionate about literacy or education and who could be a good partner for you on the board as well.
Where are you feeling like you're really lacking either in terms of resources or direction to move forward?
We're kind of at the point where we've really stretched ourselves with our volunteers. Right now, just in Dunkirk, Fredonia, I have 7 people on a waiting list that need tutors. And in Jamestown, I have 11. And I can't move to that next step without the volunteers.
How are you currently recruiting volunteers? How are people coming to you in current state?
So there's lots of different ways that people will come to us, social media, and a lot of our tutors come from word of mouth. I say, all you need is a good heart. And really, that's what it takes, because we'll provide the rest of the training.
Yeah, and I think the benefit, too, when people understand the impact, so, you're helping someone that's learning to read, but it's helping them with their daily life. Like, something you do in your session with them in one-on-one can help them tomorrow.
Oh, exceptional point.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys do raise revenue.
We do receive a grant from the New York State Education Department, and the United Way is generous to us. We do apply for smaller grants for projects that we want to work on.
Do you have any personal donors, people who...
We do.
Okay, so you've
Private
got
donors as well.
Private donors. You've got grants and funding from larger foundations or from the state, and then you've got the bookstore revenue.
Yes, but primarily we do count on the bookstore's revenue for our operating money.
But we want to get you really good at asking for big dollars. So just wondering what your comfort level is around that.
I know, like, nonprofits, sometimes you get the sense, like, is this too much of money to ask for, So having someone who's had some experience with fundraising, that can really be a big boost to your board. And I think that's going to be key in terms of raising revenue.
So I think there's a number of things we can do from a tactile marketing perspective. We want to make those a revenue generation as well. So there's things that we can brand, and I feel like we have an opportunity to brand the bookstore like a small town bookstore. So have we ever thought about naming the bookstore something different? So right now it says bookstore out front. What about the next chapter?
Oh, I love it.
Do you?
I do, because that's what our students are going through. That when they come in here, we're helping them to turn to the next chapter of their life. I think it's beautiful.
I love that because it gives you that sense of future looking. He's like, what's coming next for me in my life? And they're going to get a chance to write that for themselves. And so I think that's really powerful.
It's interesting. We have all these different kind of marketing challenges here. Bringing in people to buy books, encouraging people to donate books, recruiting volunteers to do a variety of things, and then fundraising.
It's all here already. Just the fact that she's gotten to this point is actually pretty remarkable. She has all the foundational skill set. So I think there's a lot that you're
all the building blocks are here. Like this is my sweet spot. I love this space when you can bring marketing to the space of goodness and the two things can support each other. If the goal is to bring more people into literacy volunteers, we've got to make sure their space is ready to accommodate that growth.
You have a few challenges.
We do. I agree.
Because you're going up to a ceiling that's actually a floating ceiling, which means there's nothing you can nail into. But
that makes sense.
Maybe do sort of a foam barrier that seals it to mute the sounds a little bit. I was a kid that struggled with ADHD, and you end up feeling below average. You feel you're not good enough. So I can identify, and I love the fact that there's a place that exists where people can go back in and learn the tools in life that they need to become whoever they want to be.
I came from Puerto Rico 2.5 years ago with my bachelor's degree, but I have a language limitation. And I came and talked to Julie, and she found a tutor who worked with me. And today, after 2.5 years, I'm her assistant. And I became a tutor to help a student like me to help them to complete that goals.
You're paying it forward to other people who want the same opportunity. It's beautiful, it's great. Every student we met reinforced just how important literacy volunteers is to Fredonia. And all those people who had been coming to them for years, working to better their lives, were about to face a whole new set of challenges. From filing important paperwork to taking over teaching duties for their kids. But equipping them with those skills was about to get a lot harder.
I think about when all of you guys left from filming and everything, and you'd accomplished so much, and everybody's hugging and everything. Like by the end of the week, you think, oh my gosh, how did this all change in a week?
So we're kind of at a standstill here. There's just no way you can tutor from 6 feet apart to maintain social distancing.
All the bookstores closed.
We have no income right now. And so it's scary, will we be able to ride this out?
Mikisha, Ty, and I had originally planned to reconvene back in Minneapolis so we could calmly plot out next steps for operations, marketing, and building renovation. That meeting, and everyone after it, ended up looking a lot different than we expected, and there was nothing calm about it. For Julie, we need to move quickly.
Well, first and foremost, I think she needs to make sure that she's still finding ways to operate, even if it means running virtual tutoring. People need to be able to read health information. They need to be able to file for unemployment. The next thing I think she really has to do is to really engage with her board. It might be really helpful for Julie to get a chance to meet my board chair and my chair of my development committee.
We also need to really help her utilize email marketing to a better capacity. So especially as we're starting to see things shut down, and one of the only ways to communicate and stay engaged with your donors might be email.
They have a unique opportunity to talk about the importance of literacy during a time like this.
And not being afraid to kind of use that story to illustrate the mission behind this. What can we do from a physical perspective?
With things being shut down, I think what we need to do is to get those walls that are pony walls right now all the way up to the ceiling so that we can actually have private tutoring sessions so that once things open back up, they're good to go.
Given the uncertainty of this global pandemic, I think it's going to be really important for us to stay really in touch with her so that she feels that support, even if we are working with her from a distance.
The pandemic has affected everyone, every business, but certainly more so nonprofits. I think Julie was really nervous that literacy might have to shut their doors.
Our expenses now are much greater than they were last year. I have to do something, but what on earth do I do from here? That's not my expertise.
Sure. Well, how about this? How about we...
One of the things that we tried to help Julie with was online fundraising. So, Small Business, Big Heart.
Small Business, Big Heart was an interview series that we launched in the early days of COVID, when production on the small business revolution was forced into hiatus. Each episode highlighted a business that was finding innovative ways to give back to their community, and we'd open a GoFundMe page to help that business sustain their efforts. This was a way to get a little operating money into literacy volunteers fast. Plus, who doesn't love a crossover episode? Thank you so much for joining us today, Mikisha and Julie. So this is a bit of a special episode of Small Business Big Heart. We are going to be talking to one of our season 5 businesses from Fredonia, New York, from our series, The Small Business Revolution.
We need to find the ways to help us ride this out because we know our services are needed.
I think what can often happen is there's an urgent crisis response, like what's happening in healthcare, what's happening for unemployment, but there's that secondary wave of like, there are these existing needs in the community already that could potentially be exacerbated.
Exactly what Mikisha said is that we have children bringing home their schoolwork now and needing to work with their parent, and their parent was just starting to learn English.
The episode helped extend literacy volunteers' runway, but the conversation we had also highlighted how important it was that they continue to be able to serve their students.
For Tom. Please.
Deluxe was able to give us a few laptop computers, and we could use those with the students that maybe didn't have technology. We actually have some students that worked more on their learning. I think they felt comfortable. Hey, I'm at home doing this. Their tutor kind of comes right into them. So we tried to do anything we could, to help people during this time.
While Julie got her remote learning program up and running, the team at Deluxe went to work building a brand that would be compelling enough to grab people's attention in an era of limited resources and widespread need.
Julie is so important in her role at literacy. And so our hope is that through this work of branding and marketing, it's going to give Julie more confidence to sell the mission and the purpose of Literacy Volunteers. She's going to be key in terms of selling that message.
So this is the first concept. So when we think about a logo, there are 3 things that we want it to do. We want it to be simple, we want it to be memorable, and we want it to have the right vibe.
I don't know, that's the feeling I have is, wow, it's a lot different than I thought it would be. Got to think about it, and that's a big change.
When you go from seeing just the logo on a white sheet of paper, seeing the logo in mock-ups, it really helps bring that to life.
I can see it, so I guess I got to marinate with them.
Decisions were coming fast and furious, and Julie seemed hesitant to make big moves without running things back through her board. But while the bookstore and learning center were closed, we needed to make headway on renovations.
So I was thinking maybe this would be cool for the walls. You see this color right here? It's cool, it's relaxing. If you really want to learn, you need a space where you're calm, you're not distracted, and a lot of things go into that. The shape of a room, but also the color that you put on the walls. So that's what we're really going for.
Yeah, I think it will really warm up the space. And with renovations underway in New York, we gathered at the Command Center to keep the ball rolling on Literacy Volunteers Marketing Makeover. Julie, we wish that we were there in Fredonia with you, but it's great to see you virtually. First, we'd just love to check in and just see how you're feeling. How are things going?
Well, here in New York State, things are looking up. We're still distance learning with most of our students. It's actually been quite successful when we're able to hook up the tutor and the student with some technology. Actually, they've been able to work together quite well.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about logo design. You've got the nonprofit and then you have the bookstore. There's some things we're going to want to do from a marketing perspective to kind of almost separate those two brands. For Literacy Volunteers, the nonprofit, we wanted to make sure that your logo truly reflected you and the experience that you have always offered. But thinking about the bookstore, the next chapter, we want to really create its own brand identity. So we have 3 iterations, 3 very different options, but as you can see, they all would hang together, but again, are separate brand identities.
The next chapter with the open book, that just jumps out as it's absolutely perfect for us. It's the book, it's moving forward. It's what we're supposed to be doing.
Great choice, Julie. It does really say a whole lot.
Cool.
All right, so when we're thinking about the website, when you look at the homepage, you'll see the main hero area is dedicated to the volunteers, because that's kind of the main goal of the site, is to get more volunteers in your door. And we want to make it really easy for people to
This is COVID-19. This is reality.
We wanted to make it really easy for volunteers. They could easily navigate and find the information that they need. We're going to make sure that the imagery and the color scheme really brings out that personality and the warmth.
This website will definitely help us tell our story. That's my hope.
We're just going to really work hard to make sure that the marketing makes a difference in your fundraising and gets the mission of what you do out to more people.
So, Julie, let's talk a little bit about email marketing. When we think about email marketing strategy, where we want to start is really by thinking about who are your audiences, what do those audiences care about, and how do you use email to really support your overarching business objectives. So every section should have a call to action.
Businesses and nonprofits are concerned about email marketing. The people who are receiving it will feel like it's spam, but that's why segmentation is such a great tool, because the more targeted and appropriate that information is, then it isn't spam.
Okay.
We all left the Command Center feeling like we'd built some momentum. And then a week later, Literacy Volunteers finally caught a break.
It was a wonderful day when I was able to send out the emails to different folks that, hey, we are opening. You know, everybody was on board, ready to go right away.
The bookstore reopening was huge, but we needed to help Julie take full advantage of another powerful tool, her board. True to her word, Mikisha showed up big again, pulling in 2 of her own board members to advise Julie on how to recruit, manage, and empower a board of directors.
People join organizations where they feel like a sense of affinity, a sense of culture and belonging, and you want them to feel like they're gonna have other people on the board that they're gonna talk to and enjoy being around. I think that's really important in the recruitment of board members.
It's like dating. There's a little bit of matchmaking.
You have an opportunity to rethink what the board looks like. You know, do you need folks who have a background in fundraising? Do you need folks that have a background in marketing? And ultimately, it being about people who are really, really passionate about the mission.
We've also really invested, thanks to Mikisha, how do we train our board to talk about the why, to make the ask. Asking people to raise money or give money is uncomfortable for many people.
You're right. How much does the executive director lead this part?
To me, the executive director is the most important person at the nonprofit, hands down, with the board fully supporting and behind.
Sometimes a big part of this whole process is empowering the business owners we're working with, helping them believe in themselves as much as we do. We hope that all of these conversations were building that confidence for Julie, because next up, it was time to talk numbers with our financial expert, Morris Jackson from US Bank. And if you're a nonprofit in 2020, opening the books does not make for a feel-good conversation.
So we're very fortunate to have different foundations in our area that are able to fund nonprofits and the work that they do. The L grant is through New York State. Also, our local United Way. That's how we survive, is through our bookstore and grants that we're able to receive.
Okay. I mean, with 50% of your income coming from just 2 grants, what would we do if we lost those 2 grants?
Honestly, with COVID, we're not sure yet if, our budget will be cut, because you just don't know what's going to happen in the grant world.
Yeah, I can see why this would be hanging over your head. You would have a loss as a nonprofit if it goes away.
So in terms of getting grants, do you pay for a grant writer, or how do you go about finding grants out there?
I'm the only person that does these, that runs the program. I know there are more grants out there. It's, finding the time to do them.
I feel like we have to get the fundraising up, and I think we can definitely get the bookstore sales up. But I think having someone dedicated to grant writing, I think you would see a return in just one grant, and then they can be continually focused on it.
Just continue to look for these opportunities to engage in these fundraising activities in many different avenues, not just the ones you've always been used to, new ones. Like find 10 corporations up in that North County area that really present just huge amount of opportunities for you and your bookstore as well.
You get caught up in what you've always done and what you're always, it was a comfortable spot. But we need to start thinking about things differently and through some purpose.
Our hope for businesses that do manage to make it through this crisis is that they come out more resilient on the other side. As we finish up work for literacy volunteers and got ready to present Julie with her new brand, that's what we were aiming to have achieved. A nonprofit that emerges from COVID, not just able to cover costs, but thinking about how to expand its mission. Okay, so this is a part of the process where we would typically be taking a tour and seeing the transformation to the space. But since we couldn't be there, Julie took a great video for us, and we're gonna take a peek and see how different it looks there.
Wait till you see it, it's amazing. We are so excited with the renovations that were done here to our education center. So since you were here the last time, if you'll notice, our walls go all the way to the ceiling now. I love the colors, I really do. I feel like it's under the sea in here. You'll also notice that we have beautiful new tables in here that expands the number of people that can work at one time. Small Business Revolution was amazing and set our students up with brand new laptops and projectors.
There's an elation that happens that you can only get when someone believes in you, and that's what this place does. And I can't think of a better business to help.
We have a cohesive look. The signs are fantastic. Already I've heard, hey, I saw you have new signs down there. So I'm sure as people are driving through the village, they're gonna be noticing literacy volunteers.
That's incredible.
Oh, it looks so great, Julie.
I can't tell you how good I feel every morning walking in the door. Now when you walk in, it looks like we're a professional, put together organization.
Yeah, your space is illuminating your mission in a way, which I love. Your students and your tutors feel like they have a space that really honors the spirit of what they're trying to do together, but it also gives you the option to bring in board members or potential donors to tour your facilities. I'm hoping that it helps bring more people through your doors and more dollars.
So, are you ready to see your new website?
Definitely, this is exciting. Oh my gosh, look at Mirna.
What we wanted to do and some of our goals through the new site is to really organize the information. We really focus the website on thinking about the donor audience as well as the tutor audience. But because donations are so vital, as people start to scroll, this header will stay where it is. So we'll always have that great yellow donate button front and center for all audiences.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And we have an entire page dedicated just to the donations. Again, we're thinking about our 2 primary actions that we're trying to inspire. So this is our volunteer page. So we really want to encourage people to become tutors, but we really want to walk them through what that experience will be like and make it as easy as possible. These testimonials are really important. We could talk about how great LVCC is, but to hear it from students.
I just love seeing our tutors and students. Just makes me all happy inside.
Then we have an entire page built out around the bookstore. We want to make sure we're being very clear about the fact that 100% of the proceeds directly fund the literacy program. Contact Us page is really important. So we're listing the 2 addresses there as well as the hours. This is really going to be great too for search engines, that you have 2 entities, a bookstore and an education center.
Makes a lot of sense because someone could just be looking for a book. Find the next chapter, look at our website and say, hey, it's more than a bookstore.
Building small businesses' websites is one of the most gratifying things we do at Deluxe, and we do it a lot. It isn't just that a quality site can help businesses and nonprofits solve some of their biggest challenges, from soliciting volunteers and donations to differentiating their brand. It's that we get the opportunity to reflect an entrepreneur's story back to them and show them all that they have accomplished. This is always the most fun page to build out. We have an About Us page. So we really want to talk about the mission. We want to meet the team. We want to see Julie and hear about the board and just really understand who is contributing to the mission.
And by highlighting your background, Julie, and your commitment to this effort, as well as your board members and others, it creates a halo effect where other donors could show up supporting your efforts.
This just speaks volumes to what we do, and it's real. I can't believe the difference.
As an executive director myself, I know the burden you bear when you're trying to run an organization, just raising enough funds to keep the lights on. From the pain of this moment and the difficulty can also come possibility. And I feel like there's such incredible momentum for literacy volunteers and for the bookstore.
So underneath your chair, there is a bag of some items.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is exciting. This is like Christmas.
We've branded a few things. We just love your new logo so much. We know you love it so much.
Oh, our tutors, they are going to love their own shirts when they come in because it's all about heart. And you wear it around town, and I'm happy to be known as that's the Literacy Volunteers lady. Reusable book bag. That's great.
All of these different elements, not only do they elevate it from a brand perspective, but I think this is really going to be great in terms of pursuing donors.
What a sweet touch is this. I never would have thought of a congratulations card when someone goes through our program. Wow, this is just all overwhelming. It truly is. Deluxe and Small Business Revolution, you people are just wonderful, can I say? And you care. And it really comes through. So I appreciate it.
Your work and your passion for this effort, Julie, is truly remarkable. How you're setting folks up to think about what's possible, even during this crazy time. And so I'm grateful for having had the opportunity to work with you and Amanda and the team. It's been truly an honor. Wish I could be there to in person to celebrate you.
I know. Yeah, me too.
All right, Julie, so I have some fun news for you, but it's never any fun to hear great news alone. So we have someone from within your bubble to hear the great news with you.
Oh my gosh. Hi. How are you? Ooh, why do you people keep secrets?
All right, so we have a little video for you to watch.
Hi, Julie. I know you've been working really hard to share the story of literacy volunteers this year. Amanda and the Deluxe team shared it with us here at Salesforce, and we were absolutely blown away. And we at Salesforce are always honored to connect companies to their customers. And in your case, Julie, connecting a nonprofit that's changing literacy for such a big community with donors. And so that's why I'm thrilled and we're so proud to give you a $10,000 donation to help accelerate these efforts. We're so impressed with everything that you're doing, and we're standing right behind you all along this journey.
Are you kidding me? That is... I'm not often speechless. $10,000 goes so far with what we do. We will be good stewards of that money, and we will put it to good use.
Hey, look behind you.
Oh my gosh!
Literacy Volunteers of Chautauqua County has been helping adults learn how to read since 1969. 51 years. Imagine how many people that is. And now Julie LaGrow is leading the nonprofit through what is easily one of the toughest years of its existence, making sure it's there on the other side. That's a legacy, built quietly and without ego, one student at a time. You don't have to win the small business revolution to get the marketing makeover that will take your business to the next level. To find out how Deluxe can help your small business, go to deluxe.com/revolution.
Salesforce is committed to helping small businesses tackle big challenges, and we're honored to join Deluxe in the Small Business Revolution, working alongside the entrepreneurs of Fredonia, New York, to help one town get through these extraordinary times
Visit salesforce.com/smallbusiness to learn more.